Hello everyone. For our podcast project, we wanted to test our student body and our faculty to see their awareness on climate change as a whole. So we prepared a few questions for them to see how aware they are on certain climate change subjects and whether they're aware about the pertinence and the immediacy of the issue at large. Now, the goal of our questioning is not necessarily to test their knowledge on climate change, but rather to gather their opinions on renewable energy sources and to gather their opinions on the effects of climate change it's had on their lives immediately. Obviously, because they're New Yorkers, they're going to have certain opinions on the weather and certain opinions on the effects of sea levels rising in the next few years. But instead of testing their knowledge and saying what they're aware of, we're trying to bring awareness to them about the immediacy of the issue.
All right. What's your name, your grade, and your major?
My name's Abdur. I'm a computer science major with a theater minor and a cybersecurity minor. I'm a junior.
So what are the environmental benefits of switching to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power?
The benefits of switching to solar and wind power, it allows us to produce more energy without wasting resources and damaging the planet. So things like wind turbines and water wheels allow for us to generate energy, and these things can really help us for the future.
How do you think climate change has affected our weather conditions, like the recent hurricanes that have been happening around the world lately?
Climate change has really affected these situations because, here we have all these icebergs melting, the water levels rising. I recently saw on Instagram actually that in 10 years, Manhattan will be underwater, and that's really crazy. And the fact that we're injecting all these poisons into the air that's causing the global warming, and this whole effect is really real. And I feel like we all need to make a change and put in our own efforts in order to make the world a better place, save the world. Thank you.
And to add on to that, Manhattan, they were saying Manhattan will be sinking soon. That's why they're adding a whole expansion of Manhattan down, where they have to raise the level so that the water cannot come into Manhattan and sink Manhattan.
I really haven't heard of that. When do they plan to start doing this?
In a couple of years.
Okay, interesting.
All right.
Now, as you can tell, our student interviewee Abdur is very aware of renewable energy resources and the issue of sea levels rising. Considering he's a Manhattanite, his passion for the issue is quite high, considering his home is very close to the sea level. What Jadiel is pointing out at the end is LMCR, the Lower Manhattan Coastal Resiliency Project. It's an ongoing project which main goals are to protect Lower Manhattan from daily tidal floods and storms, integrate climate resilience infrastructure into the city, and enhance the public waterfront. It's very important because just based on the numbers from Hurricane Sandy, the damage done to Lower Manhattan could be upwards of $19 billion. So the ongoing project is very important in regards to the issue of rising sea levels. Now, let's see how aware one of our Fordham faculty members is on the pertinence of climate change.
So what is your name and what do you do?
My name is Jason Wintor. I'm an HOP counselor at Wicked Center.
All right. Great. So how have you witnessed climate change, or how has climate change affected you personally?
Well, in the course of the past month, we have experienced water droughts in New York City. So right now, in November, it's been hotter than years past, and that's kind of alarming. The weather forecast or the meteorologists are expecting that we're going to get hit with a blizzard or a snowstorm.
Do you believe our worsening air quality has to do with climate change?
Yes, I totally believe that. Even when we were talking about the brush fire, a lot of people I know of were really couldn't go outside because they could smell that, whatever chemicals that was in the air. I believe that given what's going on right now, we might see an uptick of a lot of people going to the hospital because of whatever illness, whatever sickness they contributed to air pollution. We live in New York City, we're on top of each other, so we need quality air. We can't have quality air if situations, fires is happening in New York City and in Jersey. We already experience some type of cancer or some type of disability or whatever case may be from living in New York City.
Okay. Do you believe that the effects of climate change are permanent, or do you think there's still time for us to revert many of the things we've done?
I believe we have time. COVID was a great indicator of what we can do collectively. Being remote or being not always being outside, that the earth was healing itself. I believe there's time. However, if we don't invest into climate change, we're gonna put ourselves in a deeper hole, and then it would be hard for us to get out that hole. You can actually see what's going on in this country, or you can actually see what's going on with your state right now. There's certain areas and populations where it never rained or never had snow, now it has snow. I don't know. That's a clear indicator of what's going on. A clear indicator of time. I don't know, it's a population thing or it's a global thing. But I believe that we need to really dial back and invest, and we have time. I think we have time.
Add on to that, I know down in I forgot what street it was on, but they have the time clock. How it says this how much time we have until climate change reversible. And I think right now it's at like 4 years. It says. So I think that's also like an indicator. Like they're trying to warn people. They have a big thing down in Manhattan, tell everybody this how much time we have left. But I feel like people are ignoring that.
Until we see the actual results, you're not going to do it. Because some people don't believe in that, or some people are like, well, I'll wait and see. But it's telling you, everything is right in your face. We haven't had these brush fires in a long time. We haven't had a water outage for how long? The reservoirs are being drained. We haven't had rain this all of October. It's warm in November. This is supposed to be the fall. It's warm. So that's telling. I mean, I guess it's up to the people to take those warnings and move with it.
Do you think people don't believe in climate change because it's just not affecting them, and that since they don't see it, it's not happening?
It could be a multitude of things. If they don't believe it, sometimes they probably believe it's biblical. They could also believe that it doesn't affect them because they don't know how their food is grown or how their food got here. So it's a lot of miseducation that's going on out there. Can you fault them?
As you can tell, our faculty member Jason is very aware of the immediate effects of climate change and his own personal experience of the New York drought, the air quality, and the increasing temperature. But the main takeaway we should take from this interview, and from his interview specifically, is hope for the future. If we don't act now, the effects of climate change may be irreversible. Also, regarding the climate clock, there's a very clear indication that we have very limited time to enact on these issues. From Jason, Jadiel, and myself, we want to say thank you for watching and have a great end of the semester. Bye-bye now.